small car drives up, a little Jeep. There's a knock on our door. He says, I'm looking for Virginia Jim and Joe Cambridge. And we just kind of like looked at each other. That's one of the last things I want to think of. To be told that my son was killed in action. I didn't know how to react to it. Give me a minute or two and I sit down and then I started crying. I said, not my baby. That's my only baby.
Lyle Cambridge was killed near Baghdad in 2005 when his vehicle hit an improvised explosive device. He is one of 7 soldiers from the small town of Shiprock and neighbouring towns to have been killed in Iraq and Afghanistan since 9/11, most of them Native Americans. Lyle left behind 2 sons, who their grandmother Virginia now helps to look after.
It just kind of changed me, I thought. Why am I just so depressed when there's 2 children here who still need me? What if something happens to me, what are they going to do?
Lyle's oldest son, Wyatt, has autism.
Do you want to show this man Daddy's picture?
Yes.
Okay, show him Daddy's picture. Come on, show him. This is a picture of Lyle and Wyatt when Lyle was departing from Fort Carson. Where's Daddy?
Right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Listen, what happened to Daddy?
It's hurt.
Yeah. And what happened to Papa?
It hurt to the flag.
That's how you know he remembers. He's got the smile just like his father.
That's pretty.
Thank you. And
That's pretty.
stop it. And he's got the smile just like his dad's. This here is Nick. Nick is Lyle's second son. And Nick is the mischievous one here. I get him on the weekends when they're off from school. I try to spend a lot of time with them. Right over here sits our hogan. It's called a hogan. Back a long time ago, this was basically made out of mud and I guess like logs and stones. And they were home for the Navajos. I love you, baby. I miss you. I'll talk to you later, baby.
Today is Virginia's first day back at church since her son was killed 6 years ago.
Pretty much the day I lost my son Lyle, I pretty much had lost faith, I guess. And I had kept asking God, why did you take my son? But I guess I've searched and searched and searched. I'm kind of nervous, but it's okay. I'll definitely calm down once I get in there, so.
Virginia has been out of church, but she's been working through that grief process. And it's been almost 5 years. And last week, she took her grandchildren to see the Passion Play over in Farmington. And she realized that her grandson needs to be in church. And so she's coming back. This is her first day back, and we're welcome Virginia back to the
I definitely want God back in my life, so I'm definitely coming back. So, and that gives me hope also. Hope that I will continue to go on and get even stronger to where I don't have to cry like this in front of a camera so often. But I will get my faith back, and I will continue to move on.
Despite 2 foreign wars lasting almost a decade, Navajos from Shiprock are still signing up for the army in record numbers.
A high volume of Navajo recruits do come in because of a tradition of that they have dating back all the way to World War II with the Navajo Windtalkers, and also the feeling to be able to exalt their nation, the Navajo Nation, as warriors, and to kind of give back to their tribe and kind of show the world that they still have the warrior spirit.
All right. It was a pleasure.
Yep.
You have a nice day.
You too.
I came into the recruiting offices because I heard that it's a very good opportunity to get into law enforcement field, which I want to do. So I came in to get information about it and see how I can get into it.
I just have the question of, like, if we're going to be deployed and if I'm going to be on the battlefield, because I personally don't want to be on the battlefield.
And yeah.
I personally want to be in a place where I do artillery, like to fix tanks, to weld stuff. I personally don't want to be on the battlefield.
The Navajo Nation, they are patriotic and they do want to serve their country as more of like, they were here, they're Native Americans, they were here before most of the Western European cultures influenced. They were here way before that. So it's kind of like they're just still serving their country in a way. So, yeah.
My mom personally doesn't want me to go. She thinks that the worst of it. But I personally don't think the worst of it. I think that it's going to be a good experience.
The Blue Star mothers all have sons and daughters on active service abroad. They meet each week in nearby Farmington to share stories about their fears for their children.
We don't either support the war or ban the war. That's not it. It's our troops. It's our sons and daughters and each other, the families. That's what we're here for. You wake up each morning, you sit down to eat and wonder if your child has enough to eat. You don't watch the news because you don't want to know, or you watch the news and then you worry. You worry, you rip your hair out, you cry, you bond with other families that are ripping their hair out and not knowing. It doesn't get easier. Between my 2 boys, there has been 12 deployments in 10 years, and they don't get easier.
You call them and they don't ever complain. You know, they'll say, well, you know, it's 107, yeah, it's hot, you know, and or it's freezing cold in the wintertime. And, you know, I sent my son a blow-up air mattress, a twin size, and he thinks he's in heaven, you know. And the first time he came back, someone said, you can breathe again. And I said, that's exactly what it's like. It's just a burden just on me, and it's heavy, and I'm worried all the time. But I pray and I have faith, and I just believe that whatever happens was God's plan, and so that gets me through it. But it's just a pall on you that is there constantly, and when they come back and they're safe, it just lifts. And that's why I love the Blue Star Mothers, is you cannot, even if you haven't had, until you've had a son or daughter deployed, you don't know what it feels like. So, and they help you get through it.
Today, at my direction, the United States launched a targeted operation in Abbottabad, Pakistan. After a firefight, they killed Osama Bin Laden and took custody of his body.
Did you see this? Last night we heard Bin Laden was killed. So today, just to memorialize, or is that how you say it? Memorialize? Some of our soldiers that were killed there, and from this community, Shiprock, New Mexico. I wanted to put up a flag, United States flag, and the KIA flag. So I asked Jeanette here, which is Clifton Yazie's mother, who also was killed in Iraq, to come and join me to do this, because just thinking back and knowing that our sons are gone, you know, I felt like I just couldn't do it by myself. Come here. This here is my middle sister, Elsie. And then this is my Uncle Raymond. This is April's dad, Eugene. This over here is Mr. Yazzie, my favorite. There's a part of me that's happy, and there's a part of me that's sad. Every time I put up the KIA flag, I remember my son really well. This is my only way of showing my pride, my knowing that I have a hero that was here and now is gone. But he will never be forgotten. Never be forgotten. I'll not forget him.